Hello guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a little bit more relaxed for me. I'm not going to be jumping around my office getting different shots. Instead, I'm just going to be sitting here at my desk and I'm going to be sharing my actual strategy with you guys as well as some tips to help you increase your click-through rate. So if you didn't know, I talked about it actually in a couple of videos. One of the metrics that YouTube kind of judges your channel by or judges your YouTube videos by is your click-through rate. So how many times are they presenting your video to people and how many people are actually clicking through to your video to watch your video. And I've shared other tips like how to keep people interested in your videos, how to increase your audience retention, and that doesn't really come into play until people click on your videos. So in this video, I specifically want to answer your guys' questions in terms of how to rate a proper title so that people click on it, as well as some thumbnail tips, because I definitely have some tips to help you guys get more clicks by using your thumbnails as well as your titles. So we're gonna be kind of going through my process actually for this YouTube video. So together we're gonna be coming up with a title for this YouTube video as well as creating the thumbnail, and I'm gonna share my tips along the way. So this is gonna be a little behind the scenes and I hope you guys are going to like it. So the first thing that I'm actually going to do, we're gonna come up with a title for this video. Now I already know that I specifically wanna talk about click-through rate. I wanna make sure that I mention how to get people to actually click on your videos, but I'm not sure what keywords I wanna target. Now if you wanna learn more about my keyword process and how you can find keywords as well as use keywords within your YouTube videos, check out this video right here because that goes into detail. And again, that's another behind the scenes video and I walk you through the exact process of doing a YouTube video. So definitely check that out. But in terms of your title, you guys may have noticed the way that I structure my title, it's the exact same every single time. The first chunk of text that is included within my title is in all caps. And before I was a YouTuber, I didn't understand why YouTubers uploaded videos that were in all caps, like the title was in all caps. And I realized that by not including all caps, my videos actually get less views. If I include all caps, especially in the beginning of my title, they get more views. So the first chunk of my title is capitalized and then the rest of it isn't. So what I like to do, I like to kind of be like a heavy hitter, if that makes any sense. So I like to come in with my most important keywords and what I think people are actually gonna wanna click on with the first chunk of my title. So if we take a look at my most recent YouTube videos, you can see the one that I actually just uploaded was how to get your video suggested by YouTube. And that was in all caps. And in reality, that's all someone's going to see if my video appears on their homepage or if they even see it on my channel. That's probably the only part that they're actually going to see. So I want that in all caps and I want that to actually be the part that is directed to the viewer compared to the rest of my title is actually more so directed to YouTube. It's giving them the keywords that they are looking for so that they can know where to rank my video and where to recommend my video across YouTube. So the full title for this video actually was how to get your video suggested by YouTube, the secret to growing even faster on YouTube. I don't expect a lot of people to see the second part. That is specific for YouTube. So if you take a look at some of my other videos that I have, I've got how much YouTube paid me for a video that got 50K views in all caps. Again, that is directed towards the viewer. And then the last part is directed more so towards YouTube with the keywords, and it says my YouTube ads revenue, which is a great keyword. And then especially as a small YouTuber is another good keyword there. So that's kind of the way that I structure my titles within my YouTube videos. And specifically for this video, I'm not really sure what I want to target, but I think the main thing I want to get across and something that I think you guys are honestly going to click on is if I say how to get more clicks on your YouTube videos, or I don't want to say how to get more views on your YouTube videos because I don't want to deceive you guys in any way. And that's actually a really good point to bring up right here. All of my videos, I don't want them to be clickbait. I don't want them to ever not live up to what the title says or what is included in the thumbnail. So even if you paid attention to my most recent YouTube video, there was a little graphic on there that shared my stats, and that was actually a screenshot of my stats that I included within that YouTube video. So it's not like I'm ever including clickbait on my videos because I want to make sure that I live up to it in my videos. I want to create that good reputation with you guys so that you actually trust my content and so that you know it's honestly going to be valuable. So in this video in particular, I want to make sure that I am telling people that I'm going to give them information on how they can get more clicks with their title as well as their thumbnail. And I think that's going to end up being the second part of it, is how to write better titles and improve your thumbnails. But the first part is going to be how to get more clicks on your YouTube videos or how to improve your click-through rate. So I think that's where my keyword research is going to start. Click-through rate YouTube. Actually, that's the first one that pops up. Okay, so we've got click-through rate YouTube, tips to increase your YouTube views, click-through rate explained. Well, I don't really want to do that. Should you really care about your click-through rate? Yes, I do think you should. Improve your impressions. Maybe I could do improve your click-through rate. We could do something like that. Maybe get more clicks on YouTube is one of the first ones. What's that? get more views, get more views. A lot of people are saying get more views, but I don't really want to just focus on get more views because I think there's a lot that goes into getting more views besides your title and your thumbnail. So I want to make sure that this is still specific to what I am including in this YouTube video. I don't want to lie to you guys at all. So let me do a little bit more research, see what I can come up with, and then we're going to continue to format this title. About 10 minutes later, and I have come up with 2 different titles that I could use for this video, but honestly, I already have one that I know I am going to use, or I may still tweak it a little bit more, but I like it more so compared to the other one, and I want to explain that so you guys can better understand how you can do this when you're coming up with your titles as well. So the first title I've got here is how to get people to click on your YouTube videos. That's in all caps, and then it says tips to improve your video titles and thumbnails. The second title idea that I have is get more people to watch your videos, how to title your YouTube videos, and design better thumbnails. Now, after hearing both of those, kind of curious what one you guys think I should use, but in my personal opinion, the first one that I mentioned, the main reason why I don't think it's strong enough and why I'm not going to end up going with that title is just because the end part that I include there says tips to improve your video titles and thumbnails. I just feel like that's not a strong enough keyword. I feel like improve your video titles, it's just not that good. If it said YouTube video titles, I think that would be a little bit different, but I think I'm going to end up going with the second one that says get more people to watch your videos. That's in all caps, and then it says how to title your YouTube videos and design better thumbnails. That just includes 2 just so much better keywords at the end. So in terms of formatting my title, I hope you guys understand how I do that. The first part is mainly for my viewers, and I want that in all caps because I know that people are going to click on it compared to not in all caps. And then the second part is mainly for keywords to make sure that I am using as much as what's given to you. So if you didn't know, I should have actually said this in the beginning. You actually have 100 characters for your YouTube video title. So this one, the one I'm going to end up going with, I think it was at 94 maybe characters. So it's pretty high up there. It's kind of filling the limit, and I want to do that just so that I can target as many keywords as possible and increase my reach across the platform. Now, another thing in terms of your title is you want to use click-worthy words that people actually want to click on. So instead of including a boring title like increase your click-through rate, that's a little bit more boring compared to I'm trying to use trigger words to say get more people to watch your YouTube videos. Like I want people to know that they're actually going to get real results from my videos. So you have to understand how you can use those clickbaity words but also live up to it in your video. So you want to make sure that you're including the right text that's actually going to get people to click on your videos. And one of the easiest ways to do that is just perform research within your own niche. See what words people are including within their videos. I know some of my videos in the past, like my most recent one, I included the word secrets in there, the secret to growing even faster on YouTube. That is kind of a trigger word that people are more likely to click on because who doesn't want to learn a secret? As well as I've been talking a lot about blow up your YouTube channel. So it's not like see a little bit of growth, it's like see a lot of growth within your YouTube channel, and that's more likely to actually get people to click on the video. So really the words that you use within your titles are so important, but I think formatting your titles the right way as well as using kind of the maximum amount of characters that you can use. You've got 100 characters to use, so use as much as you possibly can. That's really going to expand your reach within search and just help the algorithm a little bit. So that's it in terms of my title. We will see what one I end up coming up with because this video is live, so you guys already know what title I ended up coming up with. But the next thing I want to talk about is your thumbnails because that is also so important to improving your click-through rate. And if you're one of the people that more so clicks on videos because you look at the thumbnail, then you have to realize how important the thumbnail is. That is the visual aspect. That's kind of going to be the turning point of someone actually clicking on your video. Let's talk about some thumbnail tips because I definitely do have tips when it comes to creating your thumbnails. You guys may notice that in all of my thumbnails, I have a pretty expressive face, and I do expressive faces on purpose. So if you guys are curious about how I take my thumbnails, I actually shoot them on my camera that I'm using right now. I've got a Canon EOS M50, and I just take an actual photo using this camera. So it's not like I'm doing a recording and then I'm doing specific poses and I'm taking screenshots. I don't think the quality is as good doing it that way. My personal opinion, just my preference, but I use very expressive faces within my thumbnails because that is actually what gets more clicks. YouTube videos that have faces in them or thumbnails that have faces in them get more clicks compared to thumbnails that don't have faces in them. So before I used to shoot a couple of thumbnails that were more so like writing something or typing on my keyboard. I would include those kinds of thumbnails, and then I realized that those weren't getting clicks compared to the thumbnails that included my face. And if I was including a face of me just like smiling, you know, that doesn't get nearly as many clicks as if I have like a shocked face or if I have like a thinking face or something that is actually expressive. That gets much more clicks to your YouTube videos. I'm telling you, it works wonders. So if you guys can include an expressive face that actually relates to your YouTube video, I recommend doing it. Another thing is definitely the quality of your thumbnail. And I already said this, I take photos for every one of my thumbnails. I don't just do screen captures, and that helps so much to just improve the quality of your thumbnails. And a couple of things that I've learned over the past 2 years of doing YouTube in terms of your thumbnails, when you are doing photos of yourself, like you can see right now, there's a lot going on in the walls behind me. So you kind of want to blur that out. You don't want that to distract from the main focus of your thumbnail. So what I used to do photos of myself and I would include text over the thumbnail, but I realized that the text was a little bit hard to read because there's a lot going on behind me. So what I started doing is I actually use Facetune and I blur out the background and I just keep me in focus. And that honestly performs so well for my YouTube channel. And another tip when it comes to editing, you want your editing to be pretty natural. If you ever notice on Instagram, the editing can be a little bit over filtered in my opinion. And that's why I ended up coming out with my own presets because I like a very natural editing style. So if you guys actually want to edit like my own Instagram account, if you guys like the way I edit my photos, I have my presets included in the description bar down below. You guys can get your hands on those. But your editing style is very important. So if you are like really blowing out your skin, or if you're including like black and white thumbnails, unless that really is your brand, that's not actually helping you to perform on the YouTube platform. You want something very natural. I was actually on a consultation call just the other week with someone and we were talking about their thumbnails, and she said that she wanted them to be different. She wanted them to stand out. And I told her, funny thing about thumbnails is honestly, you don't want to stand out that much. If you're doing something that is totally, completely different from anyone else, you're actually probably less likely to get clicks compared to if you're doing something similar to what other people are doing, but with your own spin on it. So if you feel like right now your YouTube thumbnails really stand out and they're so cool and they're so different, I would say try to bring it back a little bit. And usually that's not my typical advice. I like you guys to be different. I want you to be unique because that's what's going to make you stand out. But in terms of thumbnails, there's a reason why certain videos are getting clicks. There's a reason why those thumbnails are actually working. So if you can draw inspiration from those thumbnails, and I'm not saying directly copy them. In my last video, actually, I mentioned Sunny Letter Doozy, so I guess I'll use her again, just because she's got a very unique style when it comes to her thumbnails. I would never directly copy her style because it's going to be so obvious that I am copying her thumbnails. Like, that is unique to her brand and that is good. Compared to, you guys see my thumbnails, they're pretty basic, but if someone tried to take that thumbnail design, it would be pretty obvious that they are copying my thumbnail design, you know? Like, it's a little bit different, but it's also kind of similar to what is performing really well on YouTube right now. So that is definitely something you have to take into consideration. I want you guys to be unique, I want you to be different, and I want you to stay true to your brand, but I don't want you to go too far out there that you're gonna end up getting absolutely no clicks on your YouTube videos. And I guess that brings me to another point that I really want to mention is the branding within your thumbnails is actually very important. You guys notice that all of my thumbnails look the exact same. I do that for a reason. So if someone sees one of my YouTube videos, they're not subscribed to my channel yet, but then they see another one of my YouTube videos, they're more likely to click on it because they see a familiar face and they recognize my content. But in terms of my thumbnails, actually, I'm going to take a thumbnail right now. Usually I do it at the end of my YouTube videos, but since we're talking about the thumbnail, might as well take it right now, and then I'll talk a little bit about the text that you include within your thumbnail, how to make it pop, as well as like what words to include on your thumbnail, because that is also very important. Now let me start my screen recording and we could kind of talk through the text and what I think about in terms of the text. So this is the thumbnail that I had last time, and as you guys can see, I try to keep it pretty minimal with the text on it. I try not to include more than 3 words in text on my thumbnails, but honestly, I know my one, like my work week in my life, that was 5 words, and that's pretty long. You don't want too much text on your thumbnail because you want people to easily be able to read it. If people are scrolling through on YouTube, then they find one of your YouTube videos and it's really easy to read, they're more likely to click on it compared to if they have to spend a decent amount of time reading it. As well as, one thing that I like to take into consideration is the size of the font. So you want it big enough if someone is scrolling through on their phone that they can read it, because on your phone, your thumbnail is so tiny. So you definitely need to take that into consideration. And you don't ever want your text like covering your face or taking up too much of the thumbnail, because the visual aspect of the thumbnail is what's going to make it successful, especially if you have an expressive face like we talked about. So right here, this is the thumbnail photo that I ended up coming up with, and I may move this around a little bit. Since the last YouTube video had get more views, I don't want to do get more clicks. I could do increase your clicks, increase your CTR, but then again, I feel like that may be a little too technical, like I was saying earlier, so I really have to think this one through. After messing around with a couple of different phrases, I think I like increase your CTR. That way I get the people that know what click-through rate is, because it's not also included within the title. So I guess that's another trick. If you guys want to include different keywords, or if you want to target something different or unique within the thumbnail, you can do that. You don't have to use the same keywords that are included within the title. You can mess it around a little bit. So usually I have my text over on kind of the bottom left-hand side, because on the bottom right-hand side, there is that little timestamp that appears. So I try to avoid that. But in this video right here, I mean, it's covering up my phone, so I think I may end up bringing this text up here, which I actually did this in one of my YouTube videos recently, so I might include this up here. And in terms of the block of color, since I did this block of color last time, I'm gonna mix it up, and I may do blue. When was the last time I did blue? Or I may do something that's kind of similar to my shirt color even, because that may end up looking really nice. So this is the final thumbnail right here. I didn't do anything fancy with this thumbnail, like I didn't include any extra graphics or screen captures or anything to make it really interesting. I think that the thumbnail kind of speaks for itself, and more so if there is something relevant, like in my last video, the one with get more views, the one that actually had like the screenshot and then I had the arrow going up, that made more sense compared to this one. I could have another arrow going up, but it's gonna be right beside the one with get more views, and I don't want to do the same thing over and over again, because I like to mix it up and make it a little bit more interesting. So this is very much so a very basic thumbnail, but it is a thumbnail that will actually get me clicks to my YouTube videos. So you don't have to really overthink your thumbnails that much. You just want to make sure that your text is easy to read, you've got a really, really good photo, expressive faces, and yeah, that's kind of it when it comes to a thumbnail. So that is it with this YouTube video. I hope you guys liked it and found it helpful. I do like sharing more so behind the scenes kind of content every now and then, just so you guys can see my thought process and what I go through when it comes to creating my YouTube videos. I'm thinking about sharing another video here soon, doing from beginning to end what it looks like to create a YouTube video. So if that is a video you want to see, let me know in the comment section down below. Otherwise, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel down below. I do upload new videos every 3 days, so if there is a video you want to see here on my channel, please let me know in the comment section down below, because I do put those on my content calendar. And that is it for me, so I'll see you guys back here soon. Bye guys. Oh, this is actually, am I recording? Yeah. You want to take them? Idea what? No, because I don't even have that. Let me think this through. No. Oh, we got this. Okay, hold on. I was just talking and that wasn't even recording, so hold please.